Why is Conservative MP James Bezan claiming vindication over some election finances? Well, let's find out. He joins me now. Mr. Bezan, thanks very much for being here.
Thanks for having me on.
So it is vindication for you. Let's go back and remind everybody what had happened. There were some disputed expenses from the last election, and now you get to claim vindication.
Yes, so this has been an ongoing ordeal for me for the past 14 months, where Elections Canada was questioning some of the value of my highway signs that are my Member of Parliament highway signs. And got to remember that my riding, the Selkirk Interlake, is over the geographical area larger than Nova Scotia. And so we have 19 of these signs put up in strategic locations around the riding. And we had claimed them in the past as we did this campaign. And there was a dispute over how we did the calculation of valuing these signs. We filed a corrected return to better meet the guidelines as expressed through the electoral campaign handbook that Elections Canada puts out for every election. And unfortunately, the electoral officer decided that that was not satisfactory in his mind, without actually looking at our signs or looking at the invoices in any great detail to determine what the true commercial value of those signs are.
Mr. Bezan, under the current laws, the failure to file, of course, these corrected expenses could result in suspension and from the chamber. This made a lot of headlines because, for obvious reasons, it's always fun to make fun of Conservatives by certain members of the parliamentary gallery. But now that you've been vindicated and Elections Canada has said, all right, we are going to accept these corrected changes and giving you the opportunity to carry on and serve your constituents in Selkirk Interlake. Now, not much of a blip. I'm not sure why you're not getting the press coverage that it did when you were originally first in what we could say hot water.
Yeah, well, so the accusations came out, and of course there's everybody wanting to jump on that bandwagon of saying that I had some wrongdoing. You know, and I am vindicated. And really, this is the sad part of this story is that the Chief Electoral Officer, rather than listen to the arguments that we're presenting and work with us on the corrected return that we filed back on May the 5th of 2013, decided to move ahead. He had choices, but he decided to go and ask the Speaker and the House of Commons to say that I wasn't allowed to sit or vote in the House. And the sad part of that is that he was trying to overturn and quash the democratic will of the people of Selkirk Interlake. And really, that is what just doesn't sit well with people in the riding of Selkirk Interlake. And if you really look at how this has all played out over a few $100s, and still being below my electoral expense limits, you really do realize that this is an affront to democracy.
I want to quickly ask you, your government has recently announced some changes to the Elections Act, the Fair Elections Act. Would this have made a difference in your case?
Oh, definitely. One of the things is that where there is a dispute over normal campaign expenses, that if it has to go before a court of law, which I had to take that route, that until that process, and everybody's granted due process under the Constitution, until that takes place, there shouldn't be any suspension from the House of Commons. And I think that is a major breakthrough in this new Fair Elections Act, along with making sure that we have a separation of the administrations of Elections Canada and the Commissioner, who is the enforcer of the Elections Act. And so let's make sure that we keep those two primary functions separate and independent.
All right. Thanks very much, Mr. Bezan.
You're welcome anytime.
James Bezan is the Conservative